Welcome to the KEVID19 Show. We did it. We're here. We're up in this. And I'm very glad to have you along with me on this journey, this entry into purgatory. I'll be your Virgil. I'm Kevin Berrey. If I didn't say that, I probably said that. And I'm grateful to have you by my side as we enter into the hell that is our lives. It's really not. I mean, we're alive. Like that's a beautiful thing. It's not. I'm not, living in hell. But most people on Earth are living in poverty and probably struggling for just to get a scrap of food. So, you who are watching this, lucky you. You got. I mean, maybe you're watching it on a Link NYC, which, if you don't know what that is, that's one of these kiosks on the street of New York City where you can watch content and charge your phone if you have a USB cable. I mean, if you don't, you're screwed. We have a short one today, episode Flamer. That's right, talking about flamers. And I'll be on Facebook if you want to chat. I'm going to come up with another platform, I think, that will be the sort of universal location of where the chat will exist. People can check in. Thank you. I see there's 7,086 people on Facebook right now checking this out. Thank you for being there. What circle of hell will your least favorite presidential candidate end up in? That's one of the questions I'm going to ask today. I think it's hard to come up with, an end game for people who it looks like they're going off in different circles of hell, different paths of crime. Which one do you think your least favorite presidential candidate is going to end up in? And why? You don't have to tell me who it is. I want to, I think it's good to leave something up to chance or guess, something up to the mystery. So, wow, that was fast. I got food coming in. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna grab this food, and then we'll continue. Hey, what's up? I'm not gone, so don't bounce. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I just got to pay for my food. That's how food works in New York City when you get it delivered. So it's going to be a fun but short one now because I want to eat while the food is hot. And that's it. Okay, I'll be right back. Right back. We're back, and thanks for sticking in. I know that it was that was a weird one. If you weren't watching, then you probably don't know what the hell's going on. But look, this is how it goes. My wife, I'm sure, is hungry. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna try and make this short yet sweet. We have today. We're going to be talking about Dupree, G.O.D, a gentleman in Brooklyn who climbed onto the roof of a bus. Well, we'll see. You're going to be wondering, how the heck did he get up there? You know, how do you get up on that bus with a flamethrower? That's one of my number one questions. I mean, it should be one of yours too. So. Let's take a peek here. Let's see. Dupree God. Let's take a look at his video. I'm going to fade my music down. We'll go take a look at I'm sure that you've seen this in some form. Whoa. Dang. Check that out. That guy is torching this guy. Here he comes up on the back of the bus and just flames. It looks like he's torching somebody with a cell phone. I guess maybe that was a trick of perspective there. And then he just jumps down into the fire. Now here's a part that I find fascinating. Because it is the first time I've seen evidence of how he got up there. Somehow he got on top of the you can see him here. If you see the mouse here, you can see him on the top of this bus. I'm sorry, ice cream truck that's next to the bus. And then he leapt onto the bus from that. So the dude, apparently he was rocking all day. Boom. He is not playing around with that blowtorch. Or actually, that's a flamethrower. There's a slight difference. Yeah. It's a real deal. Now, I think that covers. He just repeats this same video because that's probably the only footage he got. Since he just jumped right off of that bus. I mean, I probably wouldn't have lasted. All right, it would have been great to have a lyric sheet on that because I know he talks about Wu-Tang. 77 views just doesn't seem accurate. I'm pretty sure he's got more than that. I do see in the comments that he had something like 70 subscribers or 40 subscribers yesterday, and now he's got 1,600. So it definitely gave him a boost. Let's take a look at what folks were saying about this, because I'm sure that, like you or like me, you encountered him in the news. Whoops. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, he turned himself in yesterday. And is this it? Yeah.
Thrower from the top of a Brooklyn. New at 4, that rapper who shot a flamethrower from the top of a Brooklyn bus has turned himself into police. It was just short time ago, David.
And Natalie, the video went viral after he posted it to social media. News 4's Miles Miller live at the 79th Precinct Station House where the suspect's being held. Miles?
Talk to us, Miles.
That's right. Christopher Dupree goes by the name Dupree God. He's a rapper here in Brooklyn with only 47 monthly listeners on Spotify and about 3,000 Twitter followers. Police say that's the reason they believe.
That's kind of a 47 monthly. Well, yeah, that's why he
did this truly dangerous stunt on November 8th. Let's go ahead.
Wait, they believe he did this stunt because of the 3,000 Twitter followers or the 47? It's a 47 Spotify. Because 3,000 on Twitter is not that bad. I mean, I'm not saying it's great. I don't know if he's verified. And I don't think being verified is a sign of manhood. Oh man,
said he jumped onto this MTA bus with a flamethrower
check that out.
head, shooting fire into the sky.
Whoa!
And Putnam Avenue's here in Bedford-Stuyvesant. It was a bus
I've had to add a flamethrower effect. That dude is not playing around.
They got several 911 calls, but when police arrived, nobody was around. They spoke with a 911 caller who wanted to remain anonymous and explain what
Well, you can
happened.
definitely see that
But it
he's...
wasn't until yesterday when this video hit social media that detectives were able to investigate.
He sprayed some, whatever it is, gasoline or flamethrower juice.
Shaking hands with police first, then being placed in handcuffs by a detective.
Okay.
There was nothing wrong with what he did.
I don't think he needed to be cuffed. That seems unnecessary to cuff a dude.
Art, man. Art. Creativity.
Yeah, that was art.
You were on top of an ice cream truck and then a bus. There were people on that bus.
Excuse me, folks. Excuse me.
That was a music video that was being filmed.
Yeah, it was a music video. It wasn't he wasn't attacking anybody.
What's important is that nobody was injured, nobody was hurt, and flamethrowers are legal in the state of New York.
What? That's right,
He's
sir.
right about that, but what he is not right about is what police say happened there. They say it is felony reckless endangerment and criminal possession of a weapon. Dupree is being interviewed right.
Actually, if owning a flamethrower is legal in New York, then it's not criminal possession of a weapon. You can't have it both ways. They have to ban flamethrowers.
Right now here at the 7-9 Precinct Detective Squad and expected to be arraigned in the coming hours. Live at the 7-9 Precinct in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, I'm Miles Miller, News 4.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Miles, for coming up. Let's see what we have here.
Absurd, dangerous, just plain stupid. That's how the MTA is describing the apparent stunt.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying this guy's brilliant. But if you're gonna
B-26 bus.
Yeah, before News
if you're gonna blast flamethrower into the air, B-26 I believe is a good line. You want to get one that's popular but not too popular. You know where if you get on top of it and you slow the schedule down a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the game. But at the same token, I don't live in Brooklyn, so I could be wrong about that. I would think of like, I don't know, BXM1. Oh, no, not BXM1. That's an express bus. You wouldn't want to do that in Manhattan. Maybe the BX12 for the Bronx could be a good one. That's a slow bus anyway. I'm not recommending that anyone do this. It's dangerous, obviously, and don't do it unless you're a flamethrower professional and have, I guess, permission or permit. Which I don't think the city really offers those.
This investigation into the music video shoot that put more than 24 passengers in danger.
Right.
A Bed-Stuy intersection, the backdrop for a music video.
Clearly,
what was used in that video that is catching the attention of the NYPD.
There's some danger
and an
involved.
MTA bus full of passengers. A fiery sight on the corner of Putnam and God. You can see it appears he jumps onto the roof of an MTA bus.
Oh, there you go.
Shooting flames into the sky.
They show how he got on top of the. No, they don't show how he got onto
the roof of an MTA bus.
Ice cream truck.
And is seen shooting flames into the sky. The MTA says more than 24 passengers were on the B-26 bus at the time. No injuries reported.
This is a popular spot right here. So it wasn't shocking. It's not going to be the last video shot here. They shoot a video here like every 2 weeks.
The intersection, known for its mural.
They don't shoot a flamethrower video every 2 weeks, I don't believe.
In fact, the mural was even used to invite crowds online, with free ice cream and shirts being offered. Elliot Bay owns a wine shop near the corner. He says it was an all-day shoot. He even closed down the shop for the day.
It's unsafe. It was just crazy. I mean, but that being said, if I was looking at a movie or if I was at the circus, it would seem fine.
Unsafe and alarming, especially
if it was a circus, but it's not.
The bus was not a part of the shoot.
Now, obviously, this is not encouraged behavior. Okay, you don't want to. I guess here we go.
A felony. The artist behind the stunt never responded to our request for a comment. A stunt now generating attention from the NYPD.
He looks like he took the fall well.
I thought it's cute. They shoot the videos. There wasn't no fighting.
She thought it was cute.
Yelling. anything.
The NYPD is looking to.
I like how she's wearing double masks. I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll have to follow what happens with Dupree God. I think, you know, the lesson here is that if you're going to jump on to an MTA bus and you're going to blast your flamethrower into the air, there's probably going to be some repercussions for that. You know, that's one of those things that you want to get a permit for. But it also just shows that there's a bit of a breakdown in order right now in our society. Like, New York is suffering, and people, I don't know how well they fully understand that like this is what has to be done to step it up on Spotify. Now, what I have here is
the story is set in the year 1300.
Dante's
Dante
Inferno.
wakes up on the evening of Good Friday in a dark wood, with no recollection of how he got there. In the distance.
Now, if you're not familiar with Dante's Inferno, the Divine Comedy, it's not really a traditional comedy unless you think it's funny for people to be swimming in feces and whipped by demons, serenaded by harpies in a wood. There is some irony there, like the part where he takes these fortune tellers and makes them walk with their heads facing backwards, so they can't see forward since they were falsely claiming that they could. But other than that, it's a pretty scathing attack on a lot of criminals, political criminals, people throughout Italy from that time period. Now, we're not going to watch this whole movie.
Foothill, a mountain where the sun shines bright.
Right.
He decides it must be safer than the wood, and so he starts his ascent. But as he climbs,
So, anyway, long story short, he thinks he's going up a mountain. Dude ends up in hell, thanks to the ghost of Virgil, or they call him the Shade. But it got me thinking.
Encounters a leopard.
If, you know, the three beasts that he runs into, the leopard, the she-wolf, and the lion, are supposed to represent these different like types of sin. And one of them is incontinence, which kind of caught me off guard, because incontinence is, well, that's, I mean, we do, in English, we have like fecal and, I forget the other one, urinary incontinence. Basically, when you poop your pants or pee your pants, or your skirt or whatever, your sweatpants, your dashiki or robe, whatever it is that you're wearing, and that's really, I was like, that can't be a sin that would send you to hell. And it turns out that there was like an older definition of incontinence, apparently. Aristotle, it was kind of like wantonness or inability to control your will. So you just lust after things, and I guess a sexual lust and addiction, crimes of passion, that sort of thing. And then they had these other two classes, which is violence, which we all know, and then fraud, ostensibly, you know, trickery. And living in a world now where voter fraud has been threatened so much by the president, and has been countered by saying, look, you're lying. The accusation of voter fraud is a fraud. It started to make me think, like, which of the 9 circles is this guy going to end up in? And then which Borga, or which like little section of the circles would this dude end up in? If it's true, what appears to be true, that he's lying, and he's accusing others of fraud, spreading false allegations of fraud. So it's like a double fraud. Like, he's defrauding us and his followers who believe him, and then he's also perpetuating and accusing other people of having done fraud, who haven't. So I wasn't able to sort out which circle that would be. It does make you think, though, that Dupree, G.O.D, I mean, you could say he did some violence against property, but in the end didn't damage anything. He slowed down someone's bus, and he did threaten some people's safety, which is not good. But he didn't actually commit violence against people the way that we have seen in other instances. And where does that leave us? You know, I mean, obviously you don't want people to go out and be blasting off flamethrowers, but that's the state legislature. They gotta make flamethrowers illegal, you know, or not. It's their call. But I don't know. I guess if you have a flamethrower, comment flames below. I've gotten to the end of my rope here. That was pretty much all I wanted to talk about. And I think now is a great time. I do think that cuffing the guy, I guess symbolically maybe sends a message, but I don't know how deep they need to go in terms of the punishment on this one, other than he turned himself in. And maybe there'll be a fine. I'm not a legal expert, but it seems. Yo. Hey, I'm back. Got a little stutter stop there. What I was saying was, it seems like we've entered this realm where things are going upside down. This is Dante going into the woods. In the midway of this mortal life, I found me in a gloomy wood astray, he says. This is an illustration by Gustave Doré. And, you know, it is a gloomy wood. The guy he's 35, so I guess that's halfway through what a regular life was in his time, in the Renaissance. And where does that, I mean, who doesn't feel that way when they're in the middle of their lives? I know a lot of people now who feel led astray, and they're not even close to being 35. I'm talking about 25-year-olds. I'm talking about 5-year-olds who are lost. There's a lot of lost people, especially because this pandemic has really upended, you know, everything that we thought was normal. This is Charon, the older guy, who has to, I guess, row them across the river Styx into hell. So it's a, anyway, I don't know. I don't know where anyone's going to end up in the end, if anyone's going to end up in hell. I hope they don't. I hope it's not what Dante predicted. But I do think that this has been a quick, hot one. I will just say this, that when I was growing up, a flamer was an insult or a euphemism for someone who was gay, flaming gay. I don't know if it's even used anymore. And I was taught it by a babysitter of mine who was gay. I don't think he had come out at the time, but so yeah, I used to call people flamers, and I mean, I didn't mean it necessarily a bad way, but it was they were not people with flamethrowers, put it that way. Okay, they were guys that looked like they might be gay at Kings Island, which is ostensibly like, you know, it's an amusement park that my babysitter was probably trying to hunt down, and he did that by saying, "Flamer!" And then we would see he would turn around and run away, which is a classic coquette move. That's how you seduce a gay back in those days. So shout out to Craig Duffy, my long lost babysitter, I guess you could call that. He's passed, which is sad. And hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're still alive and you've enjoyed it. Till next time, this has been the KEVID19 Show. I'm Kevin Berrey, your host. I will be posting a schedule for the show for next week, in the next day or so. I keep promising that and then not doing it. So this time, it's going to be one that sticks. And you can find us at KEVID19.com. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time. Avoid COVID at all costs. I mean, not at all costs. Don't kill yourself to avoid it. But, you know, stay safe out there. Good night.